Carol Corey, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome back to my Creating Corner. I'm so glad you popped in. So I know it's been a busy time lately here, but I got home and found some happy mail waiting for me. That's right, my December 2025 Watercolors in Bloom paper pumpkin set came, and I can't wait to get into it to see what it is. I'm pretty sure it's cards again, and I'm sure the designs are lovely. I can't wait to see what else we can do with them though. As usual, it'll just be simple things and things you don't need too much extra for in case you're a beginning stamper or pretty new to the kit life. If you're new to the kit life, keep in mind that 20% of the cost of each kit that's sold from my site, I bank all year long for my September Great Cycle Challenge fundraiser for the Children's Cancer Research Fund. So, fun for you, funds for them. It's a win-win. Let's go ahead and get into this box and see what we have. Let me put this camera down on the creating table. Don't get dizzy. Okay, 2025, December, Watercolor in Bloom. Oh, I love the paper pumpkin kits. It's everything you need is included. You don't even really need the scissors to get into the box if you've got some nails or a key handy. Look at this. I think all those packages in the mail kind of made my box a little bit worse for wear. But I'm not worried about anything that's in here because it's packaged so perfectly. Okay, so here we have Night of Navy. There's our ink. If this was your first kit, or actually any of the online kits collection that needs stamping, it would come with a little stamping block on which to put your stamps. And so here are your stamps, and we've got a black line case. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's so fancy when you unwrap the tissue paper. Okay, so here we go, and this is why I wasn't worried about any of the materials. The tissue paper wrapping and everything is so well packaged, and oh, look how pretty these designs are. Lovely. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, these are all so pretty. So this kit will make 9 cards, and I sure do like the designs on these cards and the materials. Whew, you can really have fun going rogue with this stuff. Yeah, you can. Let's grab that. And let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Seeing the picture is one thing, but seeing the actual materials is something else. Okay, so here is our tear and tape. There's our adhesive. Very good, very good. These little baggies are great if you travel. Keep your jewelry in. There we go. Let's get that tear and tape out. And just to make my life easier, I have a take your pick tool and the tweezers. May or may not need them, but I have them if I need them. Okay, and so here we've got, some pretty coppery sequins and some dimensionals. Perfection. Get these out. Give a little life to the project. Okay, and here are a couple of card panels, 3 card panels. Beautiful decorated envelopes. Those aside. Oh, isn't that pretty? That green and blue is such a pretty color combination. Blue and yellow, blue and green. I like those colors together. So there we've got 3 of these card bases. And here are some die cuts for some stamping. And here are die cuts for some decorating. See, you don't need scissors. It's already done for you. You just pop them out. Oh, look at that. That's a nice background. Vellum. I'm so glad that we have vellum back in the catalog. Look, it just really elevates your cards, I think. And here's another pretty card background. Ooh, foiling. Isn't that pretty? Look at the laser cut edges. And 3 of those. Beautiful. We'll save that cardboard for something else. And here's what I was saying. We have a black line. You just put a little tear and tape there, and it makes a nice little envelope in which to keep your stamps. And then you can put them however you store your stamps, and you can easily see from the black line what the stamps are. So this is Dear Friend, thank you. That'll be useful. The little things you do for me mean so much. Miss you so much. You make me feel loved. And some cute little leaves. Leaf sprigs. Very good, very good. And the directions. Could not be easier to follow these directions. They're pictorial. just shows you exactly what to do, when to do it. And if you had to measure anything, they include a measuring tape across the bottom. They think of everything. I love these paper pumpkin kits. Okay, and on the back, we do see everything that's included in the kit components, the coordinating colors. If you have other materials around your house in your craft closet, takes Garden Green, Night of Navy, which it comes with. Pretty Peacock, I love that. Secret Sea, I love that one too. Shaded Spruce and Bronze. And coordinating dies. The coordinating dies for this set, this will be the last month. What did I do with them? I thought I had them right here. I'll find them. Believe it's, there we go. Abundant Joy. Every 3 months, Stampin' Up! Offers a coordinating die set to go along with 3 months worth of paper pumpkin. Now these I've used for October, November, and now again December. So you've got this lovely tag, you've got the word joy, little flower, and some leaf sprigs. So once we're done making one of each card as the directions are designed, then we're going to play with the materials a little bit and see what else we can do to change things up a bit, and these dies might come in handy. You know, for 12 bucks, it is a great little add-on to your Paper Pumpkin fun. Only Paper Pumpkin subscribers can order these, so it's another reason to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Well, I'm looking forward to getting into this kit and getting some cards made, so let me clean all this up and we will be back and make one of each card in the kit, and then maybe we'll see what else we can do. Hang on just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, let's get started with card number 1. I've got all my stamps on the blocks. Now these, let me put it against this so you can see it easier. These are the acrylic blocks that come with your first Paper Pumpkin kit, and with actually any of our all-inclusive kits from our site that do require stamping. They don't all need stamping, but okay. So we're going to start out. I've got my Night of Navy open here, and we are going to start out with putting Miss You on a little square and So Much right underneath it. Okay, so using your grid paper, go ahead and line it up, and we're going to put Miss You at the top. Now usually, whichever is bigger, if the stamp is bigger than your stamp pad, the stamp goes down. If you're using a full-size pad, then of course you'd have your, for this size stamp, you'd have your, whoopsie, and there I go making a mess already. Yuck! I don't like that. And we don't want to push and smush and wiggle it around, but we do want to leave it there a minute so that the cardstock can soak up some of that ink. Okay. And we're just going to put a little So Much underneath it. Miss you so much. Okay, grab my simple chamois and clean these stamps real quick before I do a major boo-boo. Okay, and now on this long piece with the laser cut edges, isn't that so pretty? We're going to do 3 little leaves. We're going to do one in the middle, not all the way at the top, but not all the way at the bottom either. If you want, you could always put that down there to kind of gauge where you want it, and take that and put that there, see where you want it. Okay. Because wherever you put these leaves is pretty much going to determine where you put your sentiment. And do that one just like that. And this one like this. If you want to see how you can make them both go the same way, let me show you real quick. Here's my silicone craft mat, and I'll just do it on the back because the ink will not bleed through. If you want to reverse your stamp, you just stamp it on like your silicone craft mat, and then quickly put your paper down on top of it and rub, and there, here, I'll stamp that there so you can, so you see the difference? That's how you can make it go the other direction. All right, if I wanted it darker, I would have made sure my stamp was inked up much better, and I would have left it on there a bit longer, but it doesn't show through, so there I got to show you how to reverse an image. It works if you've got like birds looking one way but you want it looking the other way. Yeah, there's several instances in which reversing a stamp would be useful. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to layer this on top of the vellum. And by layering it, it's just going to give a little bit of opaqueness behind these laser cuts. Okay? So, let me grab a bone folder. Give it a good crease. It's always useful. Okay, now, taking the tear and tape. Let's put some 3 strips of tape right behind this panel. And I'm going to put 3 strips of tape while I'm working with it on the back of my vellum. Now when you're putting your stuff down with tear and tape, you're going to pretty much have to have it where you want it. So I'm going to pull this loose. Well, let me do it from this side. I'm going to pull the protection strip loose, and you'll see why. It's a pretty close fit, okay? It is a close fit to get it just right to show through correctly on both sides. So, I've got it where I want it, and it is exactly how I want it. It's even on both sides. So now I can pull it up and easily just pull the strip. And there you go. Like I say, you don't have much room for error when you're using tear and tape, so I find that works well. Okay? And we'll go ahead and adhere this down. And with your grid paper, you can always count how many little squares on either side. Like, let me put that right in the middle. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me move it over just a hair. There we go. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look, it's right there. Even the middle of my stem goes straight to the middle. Okay. Now you see on the directions there's open circles on the back of your little flower. You've got a strip and an open circle on the back of this. That means a strip of tear and tape across the bottom. And the open circle is the dimensional. And now we're going to use our sequins. I'm going to put a bigger sequin here. And there we have it. We're done. Oh, I like that. I hope this is showing up as lovely on camera as it is in real life. That is so, so pretty. That vellum behind the laser cut, it just elevates it. That is lovely. Well, we've got 2 more lovely cards to get to. Let me clean this up and I'll be right back with card number 2. Card number 2. All right, well, let me start out with grabbing my bone folder and giving this beautiful blue and green card base a good crease. Now we're going to take this oval. Isn't she pretty? Okay, and we're going to stamp thank you at the top. I love that bronzy foiling on there. Thank you. Okay, stamps are cleaned off. Now let's get to adhering things together. Once again, grabbing the tear and tape. The little flower. Okay, easy peasy. Flip that over so you make sure you get this on the right side. Let's just lay it on that card base so you can see it easier. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay. This could not be quicker or more simple. Wowza. Oh, how pretty and simple and quick was this. I hope these are showing up as pretty on camera as they are in reality. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I'm not going to sit here and admire it all night, even though I could, because we have a third card to get to from the kit. And then I've been looking at these materials, and I think we can do a couple different little things with it too to change things up, shake it up a little bit. Hang on, let me clean this up, and we'll be back with card number 3. Okay, are we ready to get card number 3 done and dusted? All right, so we get I have my sentiments here. Dear friend, a little like the stamens or pistils out of a flower, and you make me feel loved. That's sweet. Okay, so we're going to take a plain piece of just a plain little die cut, which is great. Instead of putting it right on the die cut that has the bronzy coppery foiling on it, we're going to do our stamping on this other sheet, and that way if we make a boo-boo we can always flip it over. I love that. So we're going to take this and we are going to put dear friend as tippy top as we can. Okay, I'm going to put it on the card base so I can actually see it. I love the grid paper, but sometimes I wish it was in a color. Okay, so as high up as we can go without going off the edge. And you make me feel loved. Loved. There we go. You make me feel loved. That's sweet. That's sweet. There we go. And now we're going to take this panel and we're going to add the little, I don't know what you call it, like the inside of a flower. We're just going to put that one there. And this one here. Perfect. Just two little things. Ah, look at that. It just finishes those leaves off and turns it into a flower. Okay, okay, okay. Now we'll take some tear and tape, put it on the back of these. I can pick it up and turn it over. Yes, I should have done this before I put that down, but I was excited. So. There we go. Beautiful. So sweet. Okay, well, these are so pretty. What did I do with the other one? There it is. Look how beautiful these cards are. You know, this material is really so pretty. Let's see what else we can do, because of course I've got those dies to use. Whoops, that one's upside down. Okay, well, don't go away. We're going to change things up a bit. Hang on there. Well, silly me. I put this card front on the same base as this one. But in the directions, I was supposed to use this card base. But it's okay. I think it looks great the way it is. But now I can show you one of the biggest things I use my Take Your Pick tool for. This will remove this panel without damaging my card base. It's on dimensionals, remember? So I can put it up under there and remove this card base if I want and just transfer it to this one. But I'm not going to worry about that because I think this looks good the way it is. I really do. So I'm going to leave it on this one. And I'm going to use this card base for one of our alternate designs. I'm going to do a fun fold with this one. And should I do that one first? Let me start out with something a little simpler and then we'll finish up with the fun fold. I have 3 cards I want to do with you as alternate ideas. So let's get started. Whoops. Let's get started. The first one is very simple for anybody just beginning. I'm going to start out. The only thing that you would need to have on hand for yourself would be some basic white cardstock, which is so easy to get. So I'm going to get, and a Stampin' Up! Trimmer. But if you're really good with a scissor and ruler, maybe you wouldn't need that. But I need the trimmer. So the first thing I'm going to do is, lengthwise, I'm going to go to 4 1/4. Move my cutting blade out of the way, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to turn it, come to 5 1/2, and cut it. And now I have 2 scored card bases in basic white. And this is what I'm going to use for my first 2 cards. So let's put one aside, put one right here. And I'm going to take this Night of Navy with the green leaves on it. And you can see the score line. So I'm going to put this right where the score line. This is the great thing about the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. You can get it. You can see exactly where the cutting groove is. And I'm just going to cut this down into 2 pieces. And when you do that, you're going to have a little bit of roll left. Let's take that off. It's from the score itself. There we go. Now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to come to 1 inch. I'm just going to cut 1 inch strips. That's not too smooth right there. Let me smoothen it up. There we go. Okay, now let me cut a few 1 inch strips. This is 5.5 inches, so I'll be able to get several 1 inch strips. And I'll go ahead and cut the 5th. I can't believe I did that with the other card. Good grief. I thought I was going to avoid the chaos on this one. Oh well. Let's get the trimmer out of the way. Now I'm going to pull in one of these die cuts that has the metallic on it. Let me give this a good press with the bone folder. Okay, let me turn it up this way. And I'm just going to put, I was thinking 4. I know you want your elements to be odd numbers, but with the sentiment, that will make 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, I think that's good. Yes, that is good. Now, I could use my tear and tape if I want, but it's just quicker and easier for me to use my liquid glue. And when you're using your liquid glue, you do have a minute to move it. Whew, that went on thick. Let's take another strip and borrow some glue. How's that sound? We're going to spread it out with this other strip. Okay, there we go. Now, let's put that one there. We just want to leave a little room. I want to come up a bit because I might want to trim the edge off the bottom. Oh boy. Oh boy. Did I really do that? There is a little, it is a little short, and that's because I cut the crease out, remember? Try to get this straight, that'll help. It always helps make your card look a little bit better when you get the elements on there straight. Okay, let me pull my trimmer back, and I'm just going to trim it off just to make sure my colors go all the way to the bottom. There we go. Not quite all the way to the bottom. Let's try that again. There, much, much better. Okay, there we go. The chaos is strong with this one. Now I'm going to take my You Make Me Feel Loved. Yep. And in Night of Navy, I'm just going to stamp it on that die cut. Just like that. Make sure it's straight. Make sure that's straight. Try to get it in the middle. Nice, nice. Oh, nice. So now on the back of this one, I'm just going to throw a couple of these dimensionals. and we are going to be done with this card. Cute. Cute and simple. And if you are passing cards around and out to people who know each other, they might recognize this designer series paper as actually being a card front from another card, but it's so completely different. And it was so quick and so easy, and it's great, you know, if you want to get, like, you could even cut this down smaller and have it just be thank you and make a bunch of thank you cards. Perfect. Perfectly easy and too quick. Okay. Well, this, like I said, was the very, very basic, simple card. Let me move on. Okay, this next card, it looks like I have a lot of stuff here, but I just have a lot of this here to explain to you what I'm doing. On our first card, when we layered this over the vellum, the only part of the vellum that was showing was underneath the laser cut, right? I hate wasting stuff. If you are out of vellum, or you never had any to begin with, and you like it, this is a great hint for you. Use whatever is getting hidden. So you see, nothing in the middle here is showing, so I can cut that. And the same with this round, with the oval. The whole center of that is hidden. There's absolutely no reason to not use it. So I'm going to use my dies, and I'm going to cut a tag shape from the very center of that. And the reason I feel confident is because it would be completely hidden. The hole will be completely hidden. If you wanted to put the circle, the oval underneath that other one. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut the tag out of this vellum with the coordinating dies from the Abundant Joy die set. This is a scrap of Night of Navy where I cut a hole in something and I kept it. I'm going to cut the word joy out of that. And now don't roll your eyes. It's going to work. I'm going to take this die and this die, and I'm going to cut a few leaves out of the center of this little vellum strip. And I'll just cut all the way down. Easy peasy, no problem. If I want more leaves, I can actually cut out of the very center of this vellum panel if I want. So I'm going to take these over to the cutting machine, and I am going to cut another thing I'm going to use the middle of. This right here. Remember, it was layered, had the other panel right over it? This entire center is hidden, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp in the middle of that, and I'm going to cut it out. And that will be hidden. This that goes across it goes from edge to edge. So for me to cut in to get the word out is going to be fine. It won't show up. So this is how you can find extra materials with your kit. I am going to go ahead and give this a good press with the bone folder before I forget. There we go. I am using the other front when I cut that other card base in half. There we go. So let me take these over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and get all these things cut out, and I'll be right back. Okie dokie, and I'm back with my die cuts, and let's see what we got here. One wonderful thing about Stampin' Up! Dies, they have these little release holes, and you just put a little pokey tool, like the pokey end of your take your pick tool in there, and your die cut comes out so easily. I don't know if you can tell, but this has got like little stitch marks on it. So cute. And here we've got the tag. And I can still use this for my original card design if I so choose. The hole is cut. The hole is covered. So that's good. And that is now trash, unless I want to get a couple little flowers off of that. And then the vellum. That die cut just fell straight out. And again, I can use this for the original card design because the edges were left perfectly intact and everything else is covered. use your materials. There's no law that says you can't. Oops, and I lost a little bud there. That's okay. I lost one on my way over from the counter right there, but that's okay because I don't even think I'm going to use all that I have. Now, this next step, don't hate me, don't think I'm crazy. This is not for the faint at heart. Okay, let me explain what I'm going to do first. I'm going to grab a couple of glue dots, just quicker and easier. These are the mini glue dots. They're awesome. They come in this fabulous roll. And they're just these little dots right here. And I'm just going to, you can fold them in half if it's too wide for you, but I'm going to stick one right there and one right here. And let's get this one here. Make sure my little ends stay down. You can use tear and tape if you want. You can use liquid glue if you want. This is just a little quicker for me, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. Okay. And we're going to put that right in the middle of the tag. There we go. And we're going to put that right there. And now I want a little so much just in the center. So much joy. If you need a congratulations card, this is for you. Make sure it's right in the middle so that it'll be covered. Hidden. And my handy dandy paper snips. Like I say, this is not for the faint at heart, for sure. I can use this for the original card design because it is covered from end to end. Oh, I like it. I like it. Now let's just... Yes. Tear and tape doesn't show through terribly much, but if you can keep it behind some elements, that is probably the thing to do. Oh, I'm thinking this is cute. So much much joy. Yes, that's cute. I need something right there. Do I want to use one of the sequins or do I want to put something else? I'll put a sequin there. Oh, let me get some twine. Okay, here is some twine that's left over from another paper pumpkin kit. It is available in my online store if you do not have a US demonstrator and need one. I'll have the link down below if you need to get some linen thread. There's all different color threads. They're really cute. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a glue dot. Right there. We're going to put this right on top and trim it, trim it. Woo! And then we're going to put a sequin right on top of that to dress it up a little bit. How's that? Cute. All right, let's just get this stuck down and we're done with our second alternate. There we go. So much joy, and you are ready to pop a congratulations on your retirement or just happy medical news, just any kind of happy news, and you want to celebrate with somebody, even a birthday. This could make a birthday card. This is a little itty bitty strip that was left over from when I cut the card panel for the other one. Let's just go ahead and use it and put it along the bottom on the inside, because regardless of what kind of a sentiment you're using, dressing the inside of the card is always appropriate. There we go. Yeah. You could use this for any kind of congratulations card. But, you know, all I used on this one extra was the basic white card base and a scrap of Night of Navy and some leftover paper pumpkin twine from a past kit. Perfect. And look at what we got from what would have been not seen in the other cards. Perfect. I like that. That's quick. It's very simple and easy and good to go. Good to bring some congratulations wishes to someone. Now, I do have a fun one to do. So let me clean this up and let's get started on the last alternate for this kit. Hang on. Okay, we're going to do this one real quick. I am going to use the panel that I cut. And I'm going to put this little decorative panel together just the way it's designed in the kit. This time I'm going to have it say thank you. See, you can't tell that I cut that hole in there at all. There we go. There we go. Okay, I did not put the little flower sprig behind it. And, ta-da-ta-da, Let me get out my Stampin' paper trimmer here. And, okay, I have a pretty Peacock. This is your regular card base size, 5.5 by 8.5, but it is not scored yet, okay? I'm going to score it. Here's my gray scoring blade. So I'm going to score it at 2 3/4. Just shy of 2.5. It's 2 3/4. Whoops. No. I'm going to score it at 2.5. There we go. And then I'm going to come on over here. Let me open it up, and I'm going to score it at 6 3/4. Okay, and I'm going to give it a good press with the old bone folder here. Okay, now I'm going to cut the front off of this card base. There we go. Ooh, that was unusual. That was very unusual. Okay, that's okay, because what I need to do now is cut 2 3/4. No, 2 3/8. There we go. By 5 3/8. And then I'm going to cut this piece to 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. Okay. I'm dangerous with this glue. And then this, you don't want to come all the way over. I just want to keep them right here. A few dimensionals. Center that, like so. And there you have a pretty nifty fold. Real easy and a clever use of your card base. And then you just need a 4 1/4 by 5, a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white to put on the inside to stamp and write on, or you could emboss your sentiment in white and use a white gel pen for your writing if you don't want to add a card base, a card layer in there. So that is the third one. Let's put a bit of something on it. There. There. One here. Let's go ahead and put it right up there. There we go. And there you have it. Your third alternate that's still very simple. I mean, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. If you don't have any pretty peacock or whatever other color you want, Night of Navy, Garden Green, you know, foil, and you don't have a US demonstrator, I'll have my website down below. But yeah, I think that's a really nifty card. Well, let me get everything cleaned up and let's take a look at all the things we've done together. December 2025, Watercolor in Bloom Paper Pumpkin Kit. And remember, they do all come with the coordinating envelopes. So cute. Well, the first card that we made together was According to Directions. A precious little Miss You So Much. I love the vellum behind the laser cut. That's so cute. And then the second card we did was a thank you card. Just beautiful. I hope these show up on camera as pretty as they look. And then here was the third card we did According to Directions. And if you recall, yeah, I can't get through a video without a little bit of chaos, right? That should have been on this card base. But I think it looks great on that card base too. You do what you want. It's your kit. And then to use some of the materials, but changing things up a little bit, we did cut this card base and we just made a few strips with a You Make Me Feel Loved. And I will put the dimensions for these alternate ideas down below in the description box. And then we used the coordinating dies and the back of the card base. We cut this card base in two, a front and a back, and we used one half for this card, and this is what we used the other half. We've just mounted it on some basic white cardstock and cut the vellum elements from within the vellum that's in the kit that gets hidden. And we cut that from the inside of one of the die cuts where it would be hidden. So we have so much joy, and that's just waiting for, congratulations on your retirement or your trip or whatever good news you want to celebrate with a friend. And then our final card, again, very simple alternate ideas. But this was a simple little fun fold on a pretty peacock base. And we used the other card base, we cut it in half, and then we just made two simple cuts to get the Designer Series Look background for the two flaps. I'll have the measurements for where you need to score your card base. I'll have that down below. And this right here was basically following the kit directions. So this was really cute too. And like I say, on the inside, you could put a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white panel for stamping and writing, or emboss your sentiment and use like a gel pen, maybe a white gel pen, to do your writing on the inside. It's your card, your design. But there we have a couple beautiful designs in the kit, and then I think adorable designs for alternate. Really quick, really simple. Of course, you can always step these way up, but some of y'all might not have a whole lot in your craft cabinet, and that's fine. That is fine. It's okay if you don't have a lot. You can still change your designs up and come up with lovely alternate ideas to get even more use out of your Paper Pumpkin kit. Well, if you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you don't have a US demonstrator, I'd be happy for you to subscribe through my 24/7 store. I'll have that link down below so you can get in on the Paper Pumpkin fun. Don't forget, every 3 months they do have the coordinating dies, and coming out with a brand new coordinating die set for $12 for January, February, and March. Well, anyways, let me let you go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and popping by my creating corner. So until next time, keep making the world a beautiful place. Bye.